So all that's done. Now, we are down to our public comment time. I would like to recognize Mrs. Karen Lamoureux, who has 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Chairman and the board. My name is Karen. I'm a mother of 3 in the Pulaski County Special School District. I am here today not speaking just on behalf of myself. I'm here representing 1,110 other parents, educators, and taxpayers in our state who have some very serious reservations about the Common Core Initiative. We are not alone in this regard. 6 other states have pulled out of their park agreement. 22 other states currently have legislation pending to either get out of Common Core or to make significant changes to it. After listening to what was said this morning, I have come to the conclusion that this board is clearly as uninformed as the parents are or were when these standards were adopted. We were told the same thing that you were told, and that Common Core is a set of rigorous, college-ready, internationally benchmarked standards that prepare our kids to compete in a global economy. This is nothing more than an empty sales pitch for corporations and government agencies to profit from our kids and sell them downriver in the name of saving education. I have a math question for you, board members. Are you ready? Get your pencils out. I'm not kidding. Are you smarter than a Common Core 4th grader? Let's find out. The problem is, Mr. Yamada's class has 18 students. If the class counts around by a number and ends with 90, what number did they count by? I'll restate the problem. Mr. Yamada's class has 18 students. If the class counts around by a number and ends with 90, what number did they count by? Does anyone on the board have an answer? 5. And may I ask, madam, how did you come up with that answer?
Divided 18 into 90.
You know why? Because that's what makes sense, right? That's the way we were taught to do it in the 4th grade level. This, however, is what the Common Core standards expect our 4th graders to do. If they solve it in those 2 steps, they get it marked wrong. They are expected to draw 18 circles with 90 hash marks, solving this problem in exactly 108 steps. Board members, this is not rigorous. This is not college ready. This is not preparing our children to compete in a global economy. Skipping rote memorization of multiplication tables is hindering their ability to master long division and fractions later on in the semester. And now our children who were testing in the 80th or higher percentile in math last year are now coming home with C's, D's, and F's on their report cards. Not because, as Arnie Duncan would put it, that white suburban mothers think their children aren't as brilliant as they thought they were, but because, thank you. I encourage you to listen to us when we send you our emails, despite the comments that were made by our chairperson here today. Our concerns are not based on hysteria or propaganda. They are based on fact, and we are prepared to present those facts. Can you see the trembling in my voice? Parents have not had a voice here, and you need to listen to our concerns. We are moving forward with our legislature to make some very serious changes to this, and all I ask is that you bend your ear and take us seriously. We are college-educated parents. I come to you with 12 years of college education and a former member of the National Honor Society when I tell you this is not working, and it's not what they told you it would be. We will save the privacy concerns and the testing concerns for our legislature. But when it comes to standards, that's your ball court, and we need you to help us with this because this program is dumbing our children down. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Lily Tang Williams. I am a Chinese immigrant with 3 children living in Colorado. I have the youngest daughter, 15 years old, who is a high school sophomore student in a local public school. I'm here to tell you, Common Core really scares me. It reminded me the communist education I had in China growing up under Mao's regime. When I was in school, starting 1st grade, we would chant every day, "Long live Chairman Mao, long live Communist Party." And we had the nationalized controlled education by our government, nationalized curriculum and nationalized standards. Our teachers had to teach to those standards and teach to test, or our teachers will lose their job. Our parents have no choice when it comes to what we are learning. There are no parental rights. And we would require to write diary and turn over to teachers for review. The privacy concept, something I never heard of. And in our diary, we're supposed to do self-criticism, and we're supposed to report on others who have a political incorrect speeches or thoughts, including your neighbors, your friends, sometimes even your families. It is a very sick system. Anyway, for our entertainment, when holiday comes, we will be required to sing songs and do revolutionary dances, to dress up like minorities or in soldiers' uniform, to thank Chiang Mai Mao and the Communist Party and saving us from poverty. Even though we were very poor ourselves, we could not even have enough food. The government also used a household registration system and a personnel file to keep track each citizen in China. I had a student file. This picture of me in middle school in Red Guard uniform is a picture they kept in my student file for 8th grade. The file will document all the details about you as a person, as a student, and your family, where you live, your political class, what kind of grades, what kind of behaviors, and awards you get, punishments, any disciplinary actions against you, political incorrect behaviors, speeches, and of course, that they also put some teacher's opinion, recommendations there. Neither my parents nor I ever saw those files. And those files follow me and follow all other kids from 1st grade all the way to college, and then to our future jobs until you die. Without this personnel file, I think it's difficult for you to get any kind of jobs. And I broke the system by coming to United States. They could not track me anymore. But the file is still in China. They sent my file actually to my hometown, probably stored somewhere. So even though I'm here, sometimes I feel haunted by my file. And it's really worrisome that the Common Core is collecting children's data in this country. It really scared me that, and that's going to be shared with also government agencies, with employers, with private corporations. So our children become a target for corporate profits and become experimental subjects for education. And the government then has all the control on every child in this country, even on every adult. And some people say, we are doing Common Core because we want our system to be like China. Chinese children test very high, which is true, but they are trained to be test takers, not to be critical thinkers. There's another story from China's side you don't know. Chinese children are very miserable. They don't have much life. They don't have time for extracurriculars like arts and athletes and community service. And from each level of school, from elementary to middle school to high school, they're all standardized tests you have to pass, or you will be falling behind, you will be held back. And I remember when you graduate from high school, there are nationalized tests too, or you don't graduate. So everyday study is about prepare to pass those tests. And high school kids are even more miserable because the pressure to perform, the pressure to pass college exam, which is once a year nationalized exam for 3 days. And if you screwed up one time, it's like your life is done. You have to come back next year to retake the exam. That's the only way you can go to college, is to pass this nationalized college exam once a year. Lots of people spend money and time to give their kids extra study time at night by going to other private training preparation schools. And sometimes on the weekends. High schoolers have 12 to 14 hours a day. What kind of life is that?
A YouTube video of a Duncanville high school student giving his history teacher a lesson has gone viral, and tonight has his district talking.
if you would just get up and teach them instead of handing them a freaking packet, yo. There's kids in here who don't learn like that. They need to learn face to face. You want kids to come in your class, you want them to get excited for this, you got to come in here, you got to make them excited. You want a kid to change and start doing better, you got to touch his freaking heart. Can't expect a kid to change if all you do is just tell him.
Well, that video was posted this afternoon on our Facebook page, and Channel 8's Jason Whiteley tracked down that young man for us tonight. Jason?
I had dropped out for...
Jeff Bliss says he has no regrets.
No, not at all. I believe that somebody needed to say this.
Get up and teach them.
What he told his teacher in his world history class on Monday has now been seen around the world, gone viral.
I want to see a teacher stand up and interact with the students, get involved, discuss, talk, question, and get deep into the subject.
The 90-second video begins after the teacher at Duncanville High School kicks him out of her class. Bliss told us he initially questioned why students did not have more time to prepare for the STAR test, but then he unloads on her style, critical of her passing out worksheets rather than creating lively and engaging discussions in the classroom.
You want them to get excited for this, you got to come in here, you got to make them excited. You want a kid to change and start doing better, you got to touch his freaking heart.
Jeff's mother is a teacher, but the 18-year-old tells us he really discovered the value of education when he dropped out of school for a year.
And what I soon realized was, without that education, I'm not going to make any step forward into my future.
Tell you the truth, when I saw the other day what a teacher was doing to get children to add 4 and 4, oh my God, I thought, this is good. I didn't blame him. I turned on Channel 4 for my news, and the first thing I saw, a whole group of women saying no more Common Core, and I thought, tell me, how would you teach them 4 plus 4? Oh, and she told me about you add this and subtract this, and they're making it more complicated as far as I'm concerned. 4 and 4, 8. If you're not sure, get an egg box. There's 4 more, count them up, they're 8. You're a teacher. If you're having luck doing something one way, don't ask whether it's the better way. If it's doing a good job, use that method. It doesn't go by the name of the method. It goes what does well. Some systems do well with some people, and some systems do not do well with other people. But try to find the one that's reaching the most number of people in the easiest way, and then you know you have something good going. I think that before you institute a system, be sure that it's had good fortune. And I don't think they waited long enough for this Common Core to produce something outstanding so that we could say, I think we should do that.
Some parents in our area say they are spending hours trying to find help for their kids with homework that neither of them understands.
Tonight, Fox News investigative reporter Renee Dials speaks with one mother and her 6th grade son who say they are struggling with Common Core standards.
Bob and Lenise, homework for this family used to take about an hour a night, but now they sometimes spend several hours trying to figure out math problems using the Common Core standards, in addition to completing other homework assignments. Now, this parent is frustrated, and she believes the school system is hurting students in the way Common Core standards are being implemented in schools across the country.
15 plus 5 is 20. 12 divided by 2, since that is 2/3, equals 6. 6 plus 12 is 18. You could easily tell because you know that 12 is... God.
Are you getting confused?
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay. Just move your hand and take a deep breath.
12 is smaller than 15. 2/3 is smaller than 75%. It's just worded differently, so.
11-year-old Rain Austin was always an honor roll student until the school system implemented Common Core standards 2 years ago. Now Rain is struggling to pass 6th grade math at Clark Magnet School.
When someone doesn't get it a certain way, they tell another student to go help them. Well, what if the student does it the teacher's way? That doesn't help, because they're doing it the same way that you don't understand it.
Lee Austin says the frustrating math has left her child in tears some nights.
The one night it took 5 hours to do 8 math problems. The following night, we were at a loss on his assignment.
We've come up with a math example that Rain Austin might be asked to do. At the top of the screen are the ages in months of all of the students in a 6th grade class. At the bottom of the screen, this raw data is shown in a different way. Now, according to Common Core standards, the student should be able to look at this data and come up with possibly 5 different statistical variables, one of them being the median age or middle age of 139 months. We can see that more of the students are younger than the median than older. Like many other parents, Austin says the new math standards don't make sense.
Why incorporate all these extra steps and confuse the children when the way it's been done for decades was very easy to begin with? Why fix what's not broken?
Principal Michelle Adams says these Mertz Magnet School students will be ready to tackle middle school math when they get to Clark. She sympathizes with older students who are challenged now, but she's confident they can and will get it.
If they were graded wrong because the approach at the time or the expectation at the time was to show me a different way of thinking. If you're still showing the same old way, are you really doing what was asked of you? And that's what we're trying to do, teach children to think outside of the box and to come up with more creative ways of finding solutions to old problems.
Adams says the key to success with Common Core is persistence and dedication. She knows some parents are frustrated, but she says there is help for them and their children.
We teach workshops, we have tutorials online, as well as we offer parents information about different apps and so forth available to help them with their learning at home.
I personally, as his mother, felt like he was really losing confidence in himself, losing his self-esteem, because he had always been an AB honor roll student.
Common Core standards are supposed to help students look at problems from a different perspective. Supporters say they may use different strategies to come up with the same answer. But some parents have given up not only on Common Core, but the school system altogether. Tomorrow, we'll talk to another mother who has decided to teach her children at home.
Now, the principals talked about workshops for parents. Do the parents actually have to go back to school in order to help their children?
Well, you know, it may not be a class, but many parents will have to put forth some effort to learn how to help their children. And even the teachers are having to learn new strategies. And that's something they have to do outside the class.